Hello, friends! We always focus only on our playable families in The Sims, but we don't notice our neighbors. Neighbors are present in each version of The Sims games. Let's take a closer look at them, how they affect the lives of our characters, and what they hide behind the mask of good neighborliness. All characters and NPCs are your potential neighbors in The Sims 1. When you start playing with a new family for the first time, two neighbors will come to visit you. They will see how you have settled into your new place. Each neighbor will ring the doorbell. Someone will look at their watches and act important. They'll eat your food, gossip, litter, use the bathroom, and enjoy any available entertainment. They'll also mock your attempts to play the piano. Neighbors will do whatever they want in your house. If they're dissatisfied with something, you will definitely see it. The neighbor will wave or look at their watch and leave. Neighbors may come with pets. If your sim is near the house, the neighbor will not ring the doorbell. They will walk around your lot instead. Additionally, the neighbor cannot take food from your refrigerator, so they won't bother you until nightfall. If your family has a dog, it will bark when the neighbors arrive. After the doorbell rings, the dog will start barking. Neighbors will not react to the pet. They will wait patiently for hours. Your sim will not feel isolated. You can observe your neighbors passing by your house. I suppose they are walking or looking for someone to chat with. There are many stray dogs and cats in the world of The Sims 1. They'll often relieve themselves on your lot. If your sim lives with cats and doesn't require social interactions, you may choose to ignore the initial visits from guests. However, this strategy won't work. Almost every day, 2 or 3 neighbors will come to your door and ring the bell. Neighbors in The Sims 1 won't leave you in peace. You should get one acquaintance to avoid frequent doorbell interruptions. You can invite neighbors over, or they may call you to suggest going to a community lot. If your relationship mate is neutral, the neighbor will come empty-handed. Another neighbor with whose relationship are strained will bring something tasty. When your sim puts out a treat, the other sims will definitely want to try it. A third neighbor might bring exclusive candies in a box with a bow. A neighbor might even bring flowers to your home. You can invite a friend over, but if they are hosting a party, they will suggest moving it to your place. Some neighbors may be at work and decline the invitation. Local pranksters may call your phone and try to trick you. You can meet neighbors at community lots. They often show up there. You will meet new neighbors while on vacation. It's interesting to observe the behavior of neighbors in the world of The Sims 1. They are very active and won't let you enjoy solitude. Neighbors who have become friends or partners will come bearing treats. Sometimes neighbors will even bring their own friends along. Three neighbors will come to your lot in The Sims 2 at around 12 p.m. You won't miss this event because you will receive a notification. One neighbor will ring the doorbell, while the others will look for your sims in the backyard. The neighbors will patiently wait for your sim to finish their tasks. You will be able to greet all the neighbors at once. Your neighbors will use the bathroom, play games, and eat food. Someone might display erratic behavior on your lot. The neighbors will use everything except the bathtub, bed, and fridge. You can ignore the neighbor's visit if you are not interested. The neighbors will walk around for 2 hours and then leave. But don't worry, you will see other sims frequently passing through your lot. They'll look around, read your newspaper and brush off dust. Some passerby exercise, jogging and stretching right in front of your doors. Stray dogs occasionally make your sims run around. Your character will never be lonely in The Sims 2. You can rent an apartment, which might sometimes resemble a trailer. Neighbors will also congratulate you on your new home. The neighbors in the lot are very active and don't stay at home. If you click on neighbor's door, you can introduce yourself to the owner. You will have new options such as visiting the neighbor's home. They won't always be happy to have your sim over. But if you are lucky to get in, you can use all the objects in their apartment. It's a time to clog their toilet, take a shower, and sleep in their beds. You can do anything. You can place a net for a roommate in a rented apartment. The selection of a roommate is done via phone. The candidates will be quite varied. You can learn about their job, personality, and skills. Sims approach this matter very carefully. The new roommate will immediately appear on your lot with a suitcase. They will thank your sim for the welcome. You can observe the new roommate and learn even more about them. Each roommate has their own satisfaction meter. You can become friends or enemies with the roommate. If the living conditions are unbearable, the roommate will say that they don't like there and will find other sims. They will take their suitcase and leave. You can make a mess in your rented apartment. Neighbors will notice the smell and knock on your door to complain about the unpleasant odors. Your music can also bother them. Sometimes the neighbors make noise. You can knock on their doors and complain. Your relationship with the neighbors will deteriorate. They might even come to your place at night. Neighbors who become friends will call to chat or meet at a community lot. You can bring other family members, and your friend will bring their family too. You will sit at a table in a large group and have a meal together. Friends can visit your home at any time and will do whatever they want in your house. You can offer for them to stay overnight, but not all friends will agree.
No, God!
Your guests will leave at 2 a.m., perhaps remembering their sense of tact. Friends who agree to stay over will have a great time with your sim. If your family has a dog, it will react to the presence of neighbors at the door. If your sim is a student, they will live in a dormitory with 16 rooms. The sim's portrait will appear on chosen room. Other students will also move in and become your neighbors. There will be a lot of them, and you can hide from them. Neighbors can enter your room at any moment, for example, to watch your sim sleep. However, your sim can lock the door. They will go to their door, take a large no-entry sign out of their small pocket, and hang it on the door. Your room becomes an oasis of solitude. Your neighbors also lock their doors. You can knock on their door and they will open it. If you knock 10 times on the door, nothing will happen. You can enter a neighbor's room without invitation if there is no sign on the door. Our sims are surrounded by friendly and attentive neighbors. It's very hard to hide from their socializing. The world of the Sims 2 feels lively, because there are many interactions with neighbors. Our characters can now visit others' homes. It's allowing us to experience more joys and frustrations of neighbor relationships. I moved a family into a new house in The Sims 3. No one came to congratulate them on their housewarming even after 2 days. My Sims moved to new places several times. I decided to take a radical step and move them to a different town. I settled them next to 3 families. I was lucky. The neighbors came to congratulate them on their housewarming. I invited them in and prepared some food, but they didn't want to eat, not just like in The Sims 1. They used laptops. The neighbors stayed until night and then left. Interestingly, these neighbors don't live next to my Sims. This might mean that all Sims in the town are potential neighbors. One time, a guest came to visit my Sims. He rang the doorbell and spent some time in the house. I didn't understand the purpose of his visit. There is an open world in The Sims 3. Our characters can visit other households. If you knock on someone's door, they will definitely open it for you. You shouldn't touch things in someone else's house. The hosts will ask you to stop such improper behavior. You can repeat using these things but soon you will be kicked out of the house. They might also ask you to leave if the Sims need to go to work. There is a cool feature, peeking through windows. You will see the entire house. You might get caught and chased off the lot. What a pity. The Sim doesn't call the police. So, peek into windows to see if the beds are made, check if the Sims are still alive, and scout around if your Sims are kleptomaniacs. You can freely use your neighbor's backyard. My Sim had a difficult personality. He often yelled and was rude. He got kicked out frequently. If he rang the doorbell again, they would still invite him in. If you observe the neighboring houses, you will notice that the Sims are quite active. They come and go, and sometimes someone rings the doorbell and waits to be let in. Neighbors are very busy in The Sims 3, which is probably why they rarely come to congratulate you on your new home. You can invite neighbors over and engage in any activity. If their behavior seems inappropriate, you can ask them to stop. They will listen to you and won't make you anxious. You will have a great time with your guests. If conflicts arise, the guests might feel the tension and leave early. You can offer them to stay overnight, and your friends will gladly accept the invitation. Some guests might even read a bedtime story to your children. The next day, the guests will leave your house because they need to go to work. You cannot rent an apartment in The Sims 3. Only purchasing property is possible. In an apartment, you will have access to an elevator, neighboring doors, and intercom. You can call any tenant through the intercom. If they are home, they will come down to chat with you. You won't be able to enter neighboring apartments. If you ring someone else's doorbell, the neighbor will come out. Very nervous characters will heavily press the intercom buttons. If guests come to your place, they will first use the intercom. And you will decide whether to let them in or not. If your character is bored living alone, or you want to spice up your game, you can use the services of roommates. First, you need to enable this service, and then you can control the type of roommate and their maximum number. You will also collect rent at the end of the week. My housemates were amusing and noisy. They were great company for a bachelor. Such neighbors can cook, clean, and entertain. You can find out all the information about the roommate, but you won't be able to choose them, unlike in The Sims 2. Dormitories neighbors won't be much different from regular roommates. They also go about their own business, study and attend classes. However, if you're bothered by persistent student neighbors, you can always lock access to your room. Teenagers have the option to prank their neighbors. For example, they can throw eggs, play a prank with a flaming bag, or make a prank call. Your neighbors will react emotionally to your pranks. You can disturb your neighbors even at night. For example, you can use a drilling rig. You will be able to gather all the neighbors from the area. They will shout and protest, but won't be able to do anything else. I even tried calling the police on my own Sim, but the police fined me for a false call. If your Sim is a supernatural creature, you can cast a fire spell in the neighbor's house. Your neighbors won't have a chance to get bored with you around. Neighbors won't be as intrusive as in The Sims 3. Now you can visit them, play pranks and bother your neighbors. Peeking into windows is the real adventure if you are not noticed. Roommates spice up the modest lives of Sims. As soon as you move a family into a new lot in The Sims 4, the neighbors immediately find out, coordinate and come together. Neighbors won't arrive empty-handed. They will definitely bring an exquisite fruit cake that was prepared according to a family recipe. However, such a treat often turns out to be tasteless. Usually my Sims react negatively to this dish. You can invite everyone to the table. Neighbors will appreciate your hospitality. Your neighbors will be grateful if you engage with them. They will definitely mention it when they leave. Oh boy, they don't know what awaits them yet. If your neighbors seem strange to you, or you don't want to open the door to strangers, you can ignore getting acquainted with them. They will stand at the door for some time. Then they will say that maybe another time will work out, and your relationship with them will stir. I wouldn't open the door to such strange neighbors either. If you invite a neighbor over, they will quickly appear on your lot. Neighbors love to chat and have fun in your house. Sometimes strangers might come and knock on your doors. Perhaps they lack social interactions, or your house has a lot of amenities. Guests will live at different times, and you will receive notifications about it. In the world of Sims 4, we can move into apartments, which can be either bought or rented. The number of neighbors on the floor can vary. You can observe neighbors who approach the mailbox, sort through mail, or take out the trash. Of course, neighbors will come to you with a fruit cake. You and your neighbors can leave notes with word of support. When you prepare a delicious dish, a neighbor might come to you. They will give you a compliment and ask to share the food with them. How can you refuse such a sweet neighbor? If you agree to let the neighbor in, they will immediately pounce on the food. The neighbor might be very bored and ask to come in to chat. At first, they will chat with your sim, but then you will realize that it's just a cover. That's their real goal. Suddenly, a neighbor might come and say how much they like your sim. They will even give a gift to your sim.
Oh my god!
Friends can stay at your home to get ready to go out into the city. Neighbors on the same floor might make noise, like playing loud rock music late in the evening. Your sim can politely or loudly knock on their door. Politeness isn't always effective, so you might need to be more assertive. Your complaints might be taken positively, but that's not always the case. Your sims will definitely make new acquaintances and friends. You might unexpectedly receive a call and be asked to let someone stay in your house for a couple of days to escape from their problems. If you are very kind, after some time a guest might arrive at your place with a suitcase. This guest will help you around the house, for example, by taking out the trash or cooking food. You might consider firing the maid or butler, because you have such a wonderful neighbor. You can also play the role of a guest. Knock on someone else's door and they will open it for you. You can take a citrus bath, cook something delicious, or even take a nap. But there is one condition. You have to be a super duper star. If you are just an ordinary character, the apartment owner will yell at you. 2 warnings and your sim gets kicked out of their house. You can share your house key with a friend. The friend can come to your place at any time. If you don't like this, you can plan visits from guests. This would be the most rational solution. You can also plan a visit for several characters at once. The guests will arrive at your doorstep with the suitcases. They will eat, socialize, and do whatever they want. Our characters can illegally break into other people's homes. If you choose this option, a loading screen will appear, and you will find yourself on the lot without witnesses. Your sim will start breaking the front door. They will access to everything in the house, such as the full money vault. If you don't leave the lot in time, you may get into trouble. But that doesn't always happen. No one in this family has even attacked my hamsters. You can find out secrets in other people's homes. My hamster didn't have the skill, so I switched to another sim. You don't necessarily have to break into someone else's home. It's enough to eavesdrop on what neighbors are saying. Someone finds pancakes disgusting, someone else finds the Grim Reaper elegant, and someone raised a cow plant that ate their boss. The secrets in the Sims 4 world are unique. When you learn a secret, you can keep it or blackmail the poor sim. You can ask any sim to become your neighbor or post an advertisement seeking a new neighbor, if you have a spare bed. My potential neighbor somehow appeared in the bathroom. I don't even want to think about how he got there. He came out of the apartment to knock on the door. You can accept such a strange neighbor or ignore him. Neighbors won't be different from guests, but they might leave unpleasant notes. Teams can have life goals related to neighbors. You can embrace the bright side and earn the neighborly reward. But you can also try the dark side. of neighborlinks and achieve your goals in any situation. You can customize neighbor stories. You can choose which event and incidents can happen to a particular family, for example, to avoid the death of the sim. Sometimes sim can come to your house. Some of them are friendly and don't cause much trouble. However, they are complete opposites. At first, you will receive a message from the grey skin sim. The next night, he will appear in your house, magically open the door and drink your blood. Neighbors in a dormitory won't be different from roommates. There is one advantage to having such neighbors. One of the sims will bring a prepared dish to the dormitory. Neighbors will leave notes that can ruin your mood. Neighborhood in the world of The Sims 4 is a real adventure. From unobtrusive visits to noisy late-night parties. From invitations to dine to blackmail for secrets. Your neighbors won't let you get bored. They will want to interact with you. And you will have to plan their visits to leave time for your personal life. Neighborhood in the world of The Sims is quite an interesting topic for research. Each part of the game has brought something new and original to it. Thumbs your neighbors up, subscribe to channel's Fruitcake, and share secrets if you like this video. Thanks for watching, bye bye!